Yosemite National Park in California, United States, famous for its imposing natural beauty, holds a mystery that has puzzled many for decades. In 1981, a young girl of only 14 years old disappeared without a trace while exploring one of its trails. What was supposed to be an ordinary hiking day turned into an enigma that remains unsolved to this day. Despite extensive searches, only a small clue of her presence was found. But what really happened that day? Let's learn the story of Stacy and Arras. Stacy decided to embark on a camping trip to disconnect from everyday life and immerse herself in the vastness of nature. Along with her father and a group of hikers, they set out for Sunrise High Sierra Camp, one of the most remote and picture-cute camps in the park. This destination, nestled amid the mountains, offered stunning views of the surrounding peaks and vast green valleys. For Stacy, the trip represented more than just a simple outing. It was an opportunity to create memories with her father in a tranquil setting away from the hustle and bustle of urban life. The place they were in was a refuge in the heart of the park, where visitors could relax after long hikes and admire the serenity of the surroundings. The hikers, consisting of people of different ages, seemed to enjoy the relaxed atmosphere of the camp, where stories were shared as night fell and routes were planned for the next day. Despite the distance separating the camp from civilization, there was a great sense of camaraderie among the participants, as if everyone shared a common goal: to escape, even for a few days, from the outside world. Stacy and her father formed a close duo, as evident in their interactions throughout the trip. She, being the youngest in the group, displayed an energy and enthusiasm that many of the adult hikers admired. Her father, protective and affectionate, watched her with pride as she explored the surroundings of the camp. Yosemite, known for its majestic granite cliffs, spectacular waterfalls, and giant sequoias, offered an atmosphere of peace and grandeur. Hikers arriving at the Sunrise High Sierra Camp were rewarded with panoramic views that seemed straight out of a postcard. The clear sky during the day allowed the sun to illuminate the mountains, and at night, the absence of artificial lights revealed a spectacular display of stars that is rarely seen in the cities. However, this camp, while peaceful, was miles away from the nearest civilization, meaning that any emergency situation would not be easy to handle. Although the hikers were aware of this, the prevailing feeling was one of tranquility. For Stacy and her father, this was a trip to remember, an opportunity to be together in a simply fascinating place. On the afternoon of July 16, 1981, after a day of horseback riding and a brief rest at the camp, Stacy, full of energy, decided to stretch her legs and take some photographs of the spectacular landscape. She asked her father if he wanted to join her, but he chose to stay and advised her to wear boots instead of the sandals she was wearing. Dressed in a whitish windbreaker, a white jersey blouse, leggings, and gray hiking boots, Stacy left the camp for what seemed to be a simple walk, a pause to enjoy nature and capture its beauty in photographs. Gerald Stewart, a 71-year-old man who was part of the hiking group, decided to accompany Stacy for part of the walk. Together, they walked toward a rock not far from the camp while Stacy stopped to take photographs. It was a calm day, and the hiking group, including Stacy's father, watched her from a distance. However, after walking for a while, Gerald, feeling the weight of his age, decided he had gone far enough. He sat on a rock to rest while watching Stacy, with her youthful energy, continue on. According to witnesses, they saw her walk beyond where Gerald had stopped, heading towards a nearby lake. As Stacy continued her trek, she disappeared behind some trees, losing sight of the others. This was the last moment anyone saw her. According to Gerald, before losing sight of Stacy, she mentioned that she had planned to take a few more photographs of the lake. Although he offered to accompany her to the lake, the distance and his fatigue made him hesitate and stay behind. From his resting spot, he saw nothing unusual. Everything seemed calm. However, time passed, and Stacy did not return. Time continued to pass, and when Stacy did not come back after what seemed like a reasonable amount of time, Gerald began to worry. He returned to the camp to inform the rest of the group that Stacy had not yet returned, which raised alarm among the other hikers. Stacy's father, distressed, quickly joined the search. They scoured the area near the camp, confident they would find her soon, as there were no signs that anything had gone wrong. Everyone assumed that Stacy had simply gotten delayed, perhaps captivated by the scenery or exploring more than they planned. However, as hours passed without any trace of Stacy, the situation became more concerning. Gerald mentioned that he had spoken with some people coming from the direction where Stacy had gone, but they had not seen her. This added a layer of mystery to the disappearance, as the distance Stacy had traveled did not seem sufficient for her to get lost or be in danger. The whole group was perplexed. It was hard to believe that a young girl like Stacy could have vanished so close to the camp on a route that did not seem to pose risks. That same afternoon, the informal search turned into an organized operation when the disappearance was reported to park authorities. The area was vast, but the initial hours were focused on the vicinity of where Stacy had last been seen, hoping to find some clue or indication. The scale of the operation was impressive. More than 5 square miles of terrain were explored, but the result was disheartening. Despair took hold of both the rescuers and the hikers, who began to entertain the possibility that Stacy had suffered an accident. Initial theories pointed to the possibility of a fall, an accident that may have taken her to an inaccessible place, or even drowning in one of the nearby lakes. However, the rugged terrain further complicated the search. As the search stagnated, more sinister theories emerged. Some people began to speculate about the possibility of kidnapping. The absence of evidence of a natural accident led some to wonder if someone had been involved. However, the lack of signs and traces of struggle only fueled the mystery. Additionally, more extravagant theories arose, such as the intervention of natural or geological phenomena. Some ventured the idea that Stacy could have fallen into a cave or been the victim of a geological accident, like a landslide, which could have concealed any indication of her presence. Others, more inclined towards the supernatural, proposed ideas about unknown entities that might have interfered in her disappearance. The community was divided between those who believed in a logical explanation and those searching for answers in the unknown. Each day that passed without news made the situation more desperate, and Stacy's family and friends wondered if they would ever receive answers. Despite the titanic efforts to find Stacy Ann Arras, her disappearance remains an unsolved mystery. Since her family and friends reported her absence, more than 150 rescuers participated in the search, using advanced technology such as helicopters and tracking dogs. The official records of Stacy's disappearance remain classified, which not only complicates the investigation, but also fuels public speculation. This lack of transparency has led many to question the competence of the authorities and to wonder if there is something more hidden behind this tragedy. An intriguing aspect is how, throughout history, many disappearances have been reported in national parks without explanation. Estimates suggest that thousands of people have vanished in these spaces, and many cases remain unsolved. This raises questions about safety in these areas and the ability of authorities to handle emergency situations in such environments. Often, data on missing persons is not well recorded by the National Park Service, further complicating the tracking of these incidents. The curiosities surrounding Stacy's case, along with other disappearance cases, have fueled a broader narrative that involves conspiracy theories and inexplainable phenomena. From sightings of unidentified flying objects to urban legends about mysterious creatures, the fascination with the unknown often eclipses the details of formal investigations. The disappearance of Stacy Ann Arras has captured the attention of the media and the public, generating lasting interest that has led to the creation of many documentaries and television programs dedicated to this enigma. If Stacy has not been found alive, she would be 43 years old today, prompting us to reflect not only on what may have happened during that time, but also on the impact her disappearance has had on her family and friends, especially her father, George, who has been an unwavering advocate in the search for his daughter. Since the moment she disappeared, George has shown admirable determination in not giving up and continuing to seek clues, despite the authorities suspending the official search. The family has maintained hope that one day the mystery surrounding her disappearance will be solved. In addition to seeking answers, they have worked alongside organizations and volunteers to raise awareness about the importance of safety in national parks, an aspect that resonates deeply within the community and with those who visit these places. Over time, Stacy's family has taken active steps to keep her story alive. They have used social media platforms to disseminate and have participated in community events to ensure that Stacy's disappearance does not fall into oblivion. Campaigns they have created not only seek answers about her whereabouts, but also provide support to her family. The campaigns they have created not only seek answers about her whereabouts, but also provide support to other families who have faced similar situations. The most curious aspect of this case was the letter from the park superintendent, Robert Benoist, highlighting that not a single clue was found. The National Park Service's refusal to provide files about the search despite public information requests is also alarming. The first denial was justified by citing the Freedom of Information Act, claiming it would affect ongoing legal investigations. However, David Politis argued that the case is not open, suggesting that relevant information might be hidden. Furthermore, The enigma of the elderly man named Gerald Stewart was mentioned in several reports but never consistently identified, adds another layer of mystery. Variation in his age between 70 and 77 years, along with the fact that he was never mentioned again in the more recent investigations, suggests that information was being centralized in a way that did not allow for clarity. Until the government decides to open those files and provide answers to legitimate questions about the case, Stacy's story remains a mystery. Despite the need for transparency and frustration with bureaucracy, one cannot help but wonder what else is being concealed.